I think the best relationships, the relationships that last the longest, is when the female is more dominant than the man. I know y'all gonna get in my comments and be like, what? But it's something about that woman being real dominant and mean that's gonna have that man acting right. Like, I have seen it too many times. Like, I can name so many relationships where it's like that. Like, the woman, she don't play no games. She real dominant. And the man is more like passive. You know, yeah, baby, you know, go along with her. Those are the best relationships. Like,
stop getting in my way and let me speak, dude. You are my husband. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I am not under arrest. I am not under arrest. Leave me alone. Get away from me. I have PTSD about men. Leave me alone. You're making me anxious. Get back and listen to me.
Okay,
listen to me. Listen, because this is my fiance and I can put my hands on him if I want to. This is my man. Are you listening to me? Are you listening? Can I sit down? Stop touching me. I told you I got PTSD about men putting their hands on me. Can you stop? I said I pushed him. I pushed him. That means get out my face. I'm trying to. Now shut the f up and listen. Y'all expect me to listen to y'all, and y'all can't listen to me. What is wrong with y'all? Is y'all cool? Y'all mental okay? Do y'all need a paramedic? What the f is wrong with y'all? Do you see him telling you, stop touching me? What are you talking about? I've been through too much. We ain't going 1090, and I know what the f the police mean. I'm not stupid. I'm educated, and I'm tired of people playing with me like I'm dumb.
You want to always get our point across. That's why sometimes you just letting our talk and getting it out.
Okay. Let me calm down myself. I have a coping skill sitting right there. Leave me alone. And my got the audacity to sit up here and talk about me behind my back like I don't know. I'm not a child. I'm a grown adult, and I deserve to be respected, not harassed.
Well, so we got to go right now. The church.
I don't care, bro. I don't give a about none of that because you're not sitting up here and you're not listening. I'm the person that can make the world a better place. And I know I am. I know who I am. And I know I am a kind-hearted person. And I pay it forward every chance I get. And you have been a witness to that. You can attest to that.
Are you saying
you are my fiance,
Are you not going to leave? Are you not going to leave? Are you not going to see paramedics?
No.
Are you going to leave today?
Yes, I'm going to leave. And that's what I'm trying to get my across, and nobody's letting me. Because you're talking over me.
No, I'm not. I'm letting you talk.
No, he was. He was talking over me. That's my fiance that I've known more than 8 years. This is not a new relationship. He knows when I get like this, I push him away. You don't, because you don't know me. And you're always trying to arrest people for that you don't know about. Y'all stress people the out. Y'all make people have anxiety. This is why nobody likes the police.
Hey, my more brothers, back again. It's been a minute since I put up a pre-recorded video. I guess that's the function of age and energy. I've been doing most of my lives and my Patreon, so that's taken up a lot of time. Also, I guess it's the 80-20 rule. 20% you produce and the other 80% you have to study. So I guess the 80-20 rule works in reverse sometimes. But the video at the top was sent to me by Dr. Tiesan Johnson. It's on his page. I'll put a link in the description to the page where we actually got it. It's got a lot of good stuff. Well, what it shows is something I've been very aware of since I was 5 years old. The emotional labor that men have to do for black women. The absolute physical violence that goes on in a black relationship. And I come from an old Southern relationship, and the physical violence that goes on between black men and black women is on 9,000. It's daily. It's not weekly, it's daily. and it goes back and forth. And it's so commonplace and it's so regular that nobody even thinks about it. And people think this is a recent phenomenon. No, it's not. Like I said, my grandmother, when she was 14, 15 years old, before she got married, my grandmother got married at 17. When she was 14, 15 years old, she carried a razor in her bosom. And she fought men. And she fought her husband. And she fought the men in her life. Most of the females, my aunts and stuff like that, at some point they had regular fights with their men. Physical contact and physical fights are very common in the black community. Very common. And they think it's Ike and Tina Turner, where Ike is slapping the crap out of Tina all the time. If you hear the real story, Tina Turner was not to be messed with. Tina Turner was not to be messed with. I knew the Turner kids, two of them, Michael and Craig. Very physical relationships with their female counterparts. Very physical. I don't care where you were in the 60s and 70s and 80s with a black male and female. Always physical. Always a fight. I remember the first time I got punched by a little girl, it was in second grade, because she liked me. And she wanted to show that she liked me by hitting me. That was my introduction to the Klingon mating strategy I always talk about. Very, very physical. So the clip that we saw that was ahead of this commentary is very common. Extremely common. I also included the video of the woman talking about her thinking that dominant and mean females in a relationship, in a black relationship, is necessary. I heard another girl, I wish I could find it, where a black woman said that you can't be a lover girl, you can't be soft with a black man. You know, white women do it all the time. Maybe white women have an extra amount of protection in society so they don't need to be hard. They can pick up a phone. Perhaps that's it. The thing is, the amount of meanness and amount of emotional labor that we have to do to deal with our women on a daily basis, not a weekly, a daily basis, sometimes a minute by minute basis. The amount of emotional labor that you have to do, the amount of stuff you have to put up, the amount of stuff that you have to hear coming out of a black woman's mouth. Not just her, like with my ex wasn't just her who was girlfriends, it was her mother, it was a whole female generation. I grew up in a gynocracy. Even though two-parent household doesn't mean that it was a patriarchal household. It was not. The stuff that used to come out of my mother's mouth about me when I was a kid, you know, you would think I would have low self-esteem. I had to go outside of my family to get my self-esteem needs because the stuff inside my household was not positive. We didn't grow up in the Cosby, well, even the Cosby Show. Look at the Cosby Show. They never really spoke life into Theo. Look at it. Did they ever give Theo any credit? Ever give Theo any words of affirmation? Was always what he responsibilities and what he must do, and all the put downs that Theo has to put up with. It's very common. The Tyler Perry stuff, the reason it resonates with women is because they live that stuff in their daily lives. It's not a fantasy. That's very regular. There are no shows, black shows that I know, where you see women speaking life into a black man. I don't care whether it's Good Times. I don't care whether it's the Cosby Show. I don't care what show it is. There's nothing that a black woman will say positive to her man. It's always friction. It's always negative. It's always something bad. It's always a battle. Fortunately, it's not physical on TV. But what that woman did and what that man had to do with those cops, that's very common. Officer Charles will tell you that is very common. You have a skinny guy and a big 300-pound woman, and the reason she picked him is because she can physically dominate him. And when she punches on him, she says she has a right to punch on him, right to hit on him, because that's her fiance. That's her man. That belongs to her. She can hit him, slap him, beat on him, because he belongs to her. Because he belongs to her. And that meanness and that criticalness and that stuff like criticism that you have to put up with in your black relationships, I can't tell you the criticism that you have to put up with. There's very few women that actually kind of spoke life into me. I can think of one out of the multitude of women that I've been with and been associated with in my 60 some odd years. I can tell you there's very few. It's very common for a white woman to give you compliments and boost you up. It's very rare that it be done by a black woman. To be with a black woman is an enormous amount of emotional labor for black men. Enormous amount of restraint. Mentally, physically, verbally, and emotionally, an enormous amount of restraint. And the men that do not have that restraint become violent. I would see my mother start stuff verbally and emotionally, and then to get a reaction out of my father. My father was emotionally weak. He was. And my mother knew it. And she would egg him and poke at him until he would cause a reaction. I didn't notice that until I got to be a grown up. And I would see her egg him on. I would see the little stuff that she would cause because she tried to do it to me. Thinking I'm a Sigma, so I'm not emotionally weak. She trained me to be a Sigma when I was 3 or 4 years old. That I couldn't depend on her emotionally. I couldn't depend on her to validate me. I couldn't depend on her emotional strength to see me through because it wasn't going to be there. I had to figure that out myself. So by the time I got to be 12, 13 years old, I already knew, dude, you out here by yourself. If you don't make it happen, it's not going to happen. That's how come most black men are not willing to take risks, is because there is no lifeline out there for you. You get stuck out there at sea by yourself, you're done. Your next step is the street. Your next step is to be homeless. So you better build a bridge on your way out. But like I said, I saw this video. I saw the way it went down, and I thought that maybe, just maybe, modern day feminism and integration had softened some of this, because this is very common. If you go look at any literature back in the 40s, 50s, or black literature from black female writers, violence is always a part of this. The violent thoughts that she has towards men is very common. The hatred of black men is there in all the books. The hatred. There's an author, that contemporary of Pauli Murray, that wrote a book, and I might review that book. It's a fiction book. It was written in the 40s. I think it was in the 40s, about a woman that left her husband, and the sheer hatred of black men in that era rivals the hatred of black men today. I think, in fact, it probably was even worse back then. But the thing is that the reason that black men can go anywhere on the planet and get with a woman and thrive is because we come from such a low state in America. We are probably the most oppressed. I would say outside of the Native American man, maybe. The Native American man may be more oppressed than we are. I don't think so, because they have outlets and their woman doesn't stand on the neck. We may be the most oppressed group of people in the United States. Nobody really wants us to date out or date interracially or even date overseas, including our own women. And our own women lead the forefront. It's because they need our emotional labor and validation, and they go nuts if they don't have it. Because that's why you see on these shows. You look at the difference between the whatever show and those white men, how they talk to those white women, versus the black shows. The black shows that are female dominated. You get a bunch of women and a bunch of men on a red pill show. Not a red pill, any show, a purple pill show. The women dominate. They're constantly talking. I think for my female channel, I had to isolate, had to keep the men off, because in the red pill community, that don't happen. You get 4 guys and 4 women on a red pill panel. Them red pill guys are gonna eat those women up for lunch, and I had to come in and protect them. I had to boot all my guys out of my women's channel so that the women could actually speak. Because when I got red pill guys with women on a panel, I had to tone them down, because they would eat them for lunch. They literally would eat them for lunch, because red pill men do not care. Red pill men do not kowtow to women. They're not gonna lay the coat over the puddle, which is why black women hate the red pill, because they're used to dominating the conversation. They're used to over talking people. They're used to men kowtowing and giving them their way. You see, Anton was one on a loop. He was a lone wolf. He wouldn't take it. That's like him. He had to go branch out and get his own thing, because those women are actually driving him nuts. Which is why women don't particularly like me, because I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate it at all. They get to talking smack. I use logic and stability to actually defeat their arguments, and they get pissed off. Trust and believe, all of my women cried. Every last one of them cried, because I would not let them get away with illogic. I would not let them get away with it, and it gave as good as I got. Black women are used to saying something hurtful to you and getting away with it. I don't take that. I took that from my mother. I took that from my mother because I had to. When I grew up, I said I'm not taking it from any woman that I'm involved with. You say something ugly to me, you got something ugly coming back. Trust and believe, black women are not used to black men not giving that level of emotional labor. They are not. They really aren't. They're used to being dominant and mean, just like that young lady said. But I wanted to show this to highlight this. Number one, just because a guy's a Pookie and Ray Ray doesn't mean he has an easy life. People always have this idea that Pookie and Ray Ray get to knock up these women and get them pregnant and leave them and blah, 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 and they escape without consequences. No, they do not. That is a Pookie. In fact, I might start a series called The Pookie Tales. The problems that Pookies have dealing with these over-aggressive, mean women, and the emotional labor that they have to use just to survive, just to be with these women. These women keep them crippled so that they'll have somebody and have some emotional support. Otherwise, they wouldn't have it. White man's not going to put up with this. White man's going to bounce. The white man that put up with a black woman that does this kind of stuff is so rare. It's so rare that you can't even count them. A white man will bail on that woman. 99.99% of white men cannot deal with a black woman. So that's divested. You know why that don't work. 99.99% of white men cannot deal with that woman. And that facade, because I know some white men that are married, have been married to black women, that facade drops. And the real her will come out. When she gets upset or something goes wrong, that black woman's going to come out, and every white man knows that. That's like it's a clock ticking, and you know when he bounces and when that sister comes out. When that sister comes out, they know white man said, "I got to go. Fun's over." Anyhow, let me get off of here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.